In India, there are very few players who are into solar cell manufacturing, and Premain Energy is one of the early birds who have ventured into solar cell manufacturing. So right now we are joined by Mr. Surender Pal Singh, who is the chairman of Premain Energies. Let's talk to Mr. Singh and let's try to understand the solar cell manufacturing landscape in India. Sir, thanks a lot for joining Saur Energy magazine.
My pleasure.
First question, that you are one of the early adopters who have ventured into solar cell manufacturing. So how painstaking the task is, how challenging this is, and why there are very less number of cell manufacturers in India?
You see, we incidentally had an exposure to cell manufacturing way back in 2012 when we imported a solar cell manufacturing plant from Short Solar, Germany, who were winding up their operations in Europe. And then recently we have set up 2 gigawatt of monopuck cell manufacturing. We started with poly and then upgraded our cells to monopuck. Now, solar cell manufacturing is a process-oriented industry. It is not as simple as module, which is probably, I would say, more of an assembly line. The capex of solar is very high. It is almost 4 to 5 times of the module manufacturing. And it takes quite some time to establish a solar cell line and also to standardize the process. The stabilizing of the cell or cell efficiency takes quite a lot of time. It took us almost 5 to 6 months to stabilize and get an efficiency of 23.45, which we have achieved today.
You recently created ripples by issuing IPO and entering the stock market. After entering the stock market, how the market is dealing you, how things have changed for your company?
Not much, I would say. In the IPO, we did mention that we are going for 4 gigawatt of solar cell line and 4 gigawatt of module line, which should be up and coming by December 25. Immediately, we are going ahead with 1 gigawatt of TOPCon cell line, which should be ready by first quarter of 25. It should be ready. We have also announced that we will go in for wafer and ingot manufacturing of 2 gigawatt in India.
Any timeline you have fixed for the production of wafers and ingots?
Wafer and ingot, not yet. We are looking for options. We are looking of all our existing manufacturing lines in Telangana. For wafer and ingot, we are looking for states outside Telangana. We are yet to firm up. Once it is firmed up, we will definitely share with you.
So, recently this year PM Surya Ghar was announced. So this scheme requires this has a mandate for DCR cells, and a lot of module makers say that there is a shortage of DCR cells. So are you also into the production of DCR cells, and how the shortage could be coped up?
We are manufacturing DCR cells and we are supplying DCR cells to other module manufacturers also. You see, we have limited capacity. As I said, we have 2 gigawatt of cell line. So we do have our own captive consumption for the DCR modules which we manufacture and we supply within the country. But definitely, yes, we are supplying solar cells to other manufacturers who are making DCR modules in India. This includes Tata, Wari, INA and many other companies.
So sir, in the last 2 years, the solar cell prices, solar module prices in China had been one of the lowest. So how it has affected solar cell makers and module makers in India? And do you think this tradition is likely to continue? This will benefit the solar industry?
You see, in China there has been overcapacity manufacturing, so they are finding it difficult to sell. In addition to this, they have issues with the exporting to USA. USA is not very keen. They have enforced very heavy duties on material being shipped out of China. So prices have fallen because they don't have enough market and they have got overcapacity. But then we can't compete with China. China would definitely be lower because they get straight away 13% export subsidy from the government of China on whatever they are exporting. The cost of funds in China is as low as 5%, where in India we have close to 9.5 or even 10%. The volumes are very high. They used to talk of gigawatt when we were talking of megawatt. Today they are talking of hundreds of gigawatt. So it will take quite some time for India to catch up. Then in India, for all our imported BOS, we pay a lot of custom duty to Government of India. So we cannot compete with them. But yes, the gap between their price and our price is reducing. And with the increased production capacity within India and a lot of ancillaries coming up with Government of India is promoting, I'm sure the gap will be reduced.
So recently have we seen that Longi, some of the wafer makers have increased their price partially. So how this will affect the solar manufacturers in India? Do you think that the prices of solar cells are likely to go up with this development?
You see, the prices of solar products, including wafer, has been almost at rock bottom in China. Yes, they play with the pricing because they know that solar cell manufacturing is coming up in India. So what they have done is they have reduced the price of solar cell, and they are now slowly going to increase the price of wafer so that they are able to maintain the price difference between Chinese product and Indian product.
So currently, sir, India, we have around 7 or 8 solar cell makers, and the capacity is also around the same 6 to 7 gigawatt. So do you think in the coming days more number of solar cell makers will come into the action in the country? And can you give any forecast like by the end of this year, what could be the total solar cell manufacturing capacity in India?
So end of December, yes, not more than 10 from the existing 7 gigawatt. I think probably India can go up to 10 gigawatt. But next 1 year, I'm very sure, very confident with the announcement made, with the plants which are already under construction, we should be close to 24-25 gigawatt by December 25, which will also include our own 4 gigawatt of TOPCon, which we have already announced. The work has already started. We should be up and coming, plant should be up and coming by December 25.
So, sir, recently MNRE announced that they will include solar cell manufacturing also in the ALMM list. So, how do you think this will change the game of solar cell makers in India?
You see, this would be a blessing in disguise for Indian manufacturers, like it has happened for module manufacturing with the introduction of ALM. Yes, the reduction on import from China would go up to quite a big extent with the ALM on solar cell also. So we industry would appreciate and we thank the government for considering ALM even for solar cell. I would not call it ALM, it would be already a cell manufacturer, so probably they will name it as All India Cell Manufacturers.
The last question, sir. We have the reposition of ALMM, we have PLI, and there are a lot of other pro-solar activities, policies from the government side. Do you think still there is some gaps, some more things to be done from the government side? What the solar cells, solar module manufacturers want from the government?
You see, we have been representing to the government from our company and also from association. The earlier PLI is from polysilicon to module. What government should also come up with, they should come up with separate PLI only for wafer ingot, so that the companies who manufacture only this will be able to supply the raw material to other cell manufacturers. Today, under the current PLI, the company which is manufacturing polysilicon, wafer and cells is also manufacturing modules, so they would not have spare capacity for selling wafers to other manufacturers for sale. So government has promised, they have said we will consider this. They have funds available under PLI. So we hope that government will decide to give PLI only for ingot and wafer manufacturing. That would help the local cell manufacturers also.
Thanks a lot, Surender ji, for talking to Saur Energy magazine.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure.